What's good, y'all? My name is David, and we are here in the Life Lab Garden in Santa Cruz, California. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to our first ever national Coast to Coast School Gardens event. Today, we will be uniting students from Hawaii all the way to Washington, D.C., and everywhere in between to celebrate the power of school gardens. Y'all, I love gardening. Every single day, I get to practice my gardening skills on our farm called Food What, and we love growing food. Did you know that there are thousands of school garden classrooms just like yours all across the country? And in these school garden classrooms, students just like you are learning how to grow food for themselves and their communities. And students just like you are becoming scientists because they're making important discoveries about the natural world around them. Just like you, they're amazing chefs, whipping up amazing snacks out of the food they grow. And just like you, they are our next generation of leaders. Y'all bring us hope and joy, all while having fun together in your beautiful outdoor gardening classrooms. But don't just take it from me, let's hear it from the students themselves. Today, we're gonna take a little trip. We are gonna go on a journey to visit 7 different school garden classrooms across the country, where we will hear directly from students like you about what makes their garden so special. Along the way, we'll hear from a few special guests, and for educators tuning in, we will have lessons that you can follow along with your students. If you are tuning in with students or children, please click the link below and sign in to our digital guest book, right? All right, y'all. So before we start this journey, we gotta get in the mindset. So think of your school garden or any garden. Picture it in your head, paint it up, boom, there it is. Okay, now, what is your favorite fruit or vegetable that grows in that garden? Okay, you got it? You got it? On the count of 3, we're all gonna say it together. 1, 2, 3. Beets! There it is, nice. That was good too, Okay, y'all. All right, we are ready for our first stop. We are going to Waimea Middle School in Hawaii. Let's go check it out.
E kumamai and aloha. O Junin Kawahi ko uinoa, ayava makapapa e iwa. What I just said is welcome and hi. My name is Janine Kawahi and I am a 9th grader. We are here at Mala'ai Garden. This is basically where I spent the 3 best years of my life at Waimea Middle School. Mala'ai translates to food garden, and it is a big part of what we do here, which is to grow, harvest, and eat the delicious food. Waimea Middle School, or Mala'ai Garden, is located in the northern part of the Big Island, which is surrounded by mountains, hills, and ranchland, with the ocean just down the hill. Before we enter the garden, we usually oli or chant, and the chant that we do is Malana Mai Ko'u, which basically talks about all the different parts or places on Hawaii Island. The reason as to why we chant is because not only to ask for permission, but to also get us into the mindset of focusing and bringing the knowledge of what we know into the garden.
When I chant, I feel good and connected and present.
Just remember this is a time for reflection and to really let yourself relax.
One activity we do in the garden is 2 minutes of kilo, and kilo basically means to observe. This is a silent time where we use our senses to not only observe ourselves, but also observe our surroundings.
During kilo, I feel like relaxed and like all my worries are gone. I can hear the birds, I can hear the wind, I can hear everything. You take 2 minutes and then like you breathe in and out. You just think of your day, how it went, and what you're feeling right now.
I really like doing 2 minutes. It's like nice to just to sit down and like observe your surroundings and how things grown or changed.
Kilo is something you can do all by yourself. Just make sure you stay quiet and to use all of your senses. One very important plant that we grow in our garden is kalo, or taro. Here in Hawaii, this crop has a very special significance that connects us to where we live. We regard this plant as our big brother and give it the name ha'aloa, the long breath of life.
In 6th grade, our kumu or teacher, Lanakila, comes to the garden and shares the Hawaiian creation story with us. We learned that Haloa is a sacred plant that grew out of the earth and shares the same parents as mankind. Haloa is born first, so here's our elder brother. We must take care of this plant like it takes care of us by giving us food and life. You can eat the leaves, the stem, and the corm.
Oh, I'm not scared of ladders.
Of course, everyone loves to harvest, cook, and eat. Eating food in the garden is a great time to try new things and to eat fresh, healthy, and delicious meals. The things we cook are so ono, delicious.
We made crispy kalo with herbs. Cooking is my favorite activity because I like to eat what I grow.
Now with COVID, we have to be at a desk at home by ourselves for hours on end. So coming to the garden is just so great to be able to socialize and be with friends and teachers and everyone.
We practice Hawaiian culture in the garden to really perpetuate it and to educate students so it doesn't die off.
I love plants. I love everything in nature. The plants here are amazing. The people here are amazing as well. And it's just an amazing place overall.
Mahalo for joining us, and if you have the time, make sure to try and do your 2-minute kilo at home.
Aloha from Waimea on the Big Island of Hawai'i.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Alejandro here, coming to you from Watsonville, California, original homeland of the Amamutsin tribal band. Watsonville has super fertile farmland and produces nearly half of all strawberries grown in the US. So next time you take a bite of one of those delicious berries, remember us and the hardworking families that take care of the land.
Hi, my name is Lila and I'm one of the garden educators here at Radcliff Elementary School. After the students finish their virtual classes, Alejandro and I lead social emotional games, nature exploration, and garden activities. Since we have such a small group of kids, we've been able to form a close bond with them and explore what they need. I'll pass it off to our amazing students to tell you more.
Being in the classroom and the garden is different because you can be outside in the rain and you can plant stuff and you can see animals and insects.
I feel happy it's because we always have fun and we always play some games that are new and we also water the plants and we always have fun with Lila and Alejandro.
My favorite thing to do in the garden is looking for animals such as snails or worms.
My favorite thing to do in the garden is plant flowers, catch bees, and then just release them at the end.
My favorite thing to do in the garden is water plants and grow blueberries.
I think it would be nice for most schools to have a garden because it's a space where kids can go to be calm.
Every school should have a garden because it relaxes you and calms you down from Zoom and stuff.
When I'm in the garden, I feel peaceful and relaxed. It's beautiful to see the flowers and the animals that are here.
Hi, my name is Jasmine.
I am Ariel.
And today we're gonna do
the tape bracelet.
We're gonna use tape and put it in our wrist. So the sticky part is gonna be facing out. Now we're gonna just add flowers, rocks, and dirt. This is our bracelets. Thanks for watching.
I hope that you try this at home.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a really tough year for everyone, but here in the garden, we've been able to find joy, build friendships, and connect with nature.
We hope we inspire you to connect with nature too.
Bye!
My name is Frida, and this is my sister Pilar.
And we're here today to tell you about a school garden that we helped build a few years ago.
Manzo Elementary is a public school in the Barrio Hollywood neighborhood of Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona lies in the northeast corner of the Sonoran Desert, an ecosystem that stretches from Mexico up into the United States. In this school garden, we grow food to distribute to the community and conduct scientific experiments in food, water, and energy production.
At Manzo, we grow lots of food, but it's important to remember that there were people here growing food before us. Indigenous peoples have been growing food continuously in Tucson for thousands of years. This space is our control garden.
It's in full sun and might look like the garden at your school.
This space is our experimental garden. Notice the solar panels overhead. We plant the same crops both here and in our control garden and then measure and observe the differences. We call this our agrivoltaic garden.
The word agrivoltaics is a mashup of agriculture and photovoltaics. Agrivoltaics.
Here in the agrivoltaic garden, we use high-tech instrumentation to measure the moisture in the soil, the moisture in the air, and the temperature of the solar panels. But it's really student observations that help us understand how the plant life thrives under the solar panels.
In our desert ecosystem, plants love to live below the trees. This is because the tree acts as a babysitter, keeping the plants nice and comfy, not too hot and not too cold. The shade also helps keep moisture in the soil. In this garden, the solar panels act as a babysitter. They protect the plants from the harsh midday sun, protect them from the cold frosts in the winters, and help reduce water evaporation. In our garden, the sun is harvested twice. The plants harvest the sun through photosynthesis, and the panels harvest the sun and produce energy for us. When they photosynthesize, they release moisture which cools the panels and helps them produce energy more efficiently.
Over a number of years, we've found that we can grow food under the solar panels using less water, and that as the plants photosynthesize, they release moisture into the air, which cools the solar panels and allows them to produce electricity with more efficiency. At Manzo, we're curious. We observe and we measure.
So get outside and be a scientist.
What are you curious about?
What can you observe and what can you measure?
Click the link in the description to learn more about germination and how you can conduct a controlled experiment of your own.
My name is Jada Webb. I'm a 7th grade student at Lake Middle School. Lake Middle School has been open for 94 years and has a rich history in Northwest Denver. Our nights live by 4 core values of honor, humility, hard work, and generosity. These values guide us in creating and maintaining our efforts in building unity in our community through gardening.
My name is Staff Sergeant McDonald. I'm a volunteer for the Lake community. I was in the military for 13 years, and as I left the military, I decided to give back to my community through education. When I got started at Lake, there were 3 broke down and overgrown garden beds in the back. They weren't utilized in years and needed to be reimagined, and that is where the garden journey begins. I began by simply buying flowers and planting them in the back to add life and color for the students when they go out for recess.
The garden taught me is like the plant of life. It's like a feeling, like it's something you like to do and you want to do it all the time.
You'll stick your hands in the ground in the center of these hoses, all right? In the center of these hoses and these rows, you're gonna make a straight line through it, right? So you'll poke 2 holes in it like that with your peace sign, okay? And then you'll take an individual seed out and you'll drop that seed in that hole, the 2 holes that you dug, and then bury it, okay? And when you're burying it, when you're making that hole...
The garden helps build Lake's community because we definitely get a lot of volunteers that help with the garden. The garden taught me that everything is not the same. Everything doesn't stay the same. Things change all the time. When the plants were dying and stuff and they weren't as healthy as they were before, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of relative to life because not everything is going to stay the same.
And then the same thing over here.
I would say you should definitely try it, even if you don't have a garden at your school. Definitely go out and try to find one and help around, getting your hands dirty and helping new lives being born. It's very life-changing, it's very relaxing, it's an escape, I would say.
What helps build your community?
Wow. Each one of those gardens was pretty unique. That was cool. Was there an activity in there that you'd like to try? Nice. I just made a flower tape bracelet. Yeah, I also want to try one of the silent observations in my garden. They did in Hawaii. It's cool. Hope y'all get the chance to try some of these out too. Okay, now that we've seen a couple of school gardens, I think it's about time that we check in with Dr. Jamie Davis. Dr. Davis is a nutrition scientist at the University of Texas in Austin. And she has been studying the benefits of school gardens on education and on nutrition for over 10 years. 10 years, y'all, so she knows a lot. And she is about to share with us a little bit about what she's working on with her college students. Now, let's go say hi to Dr. Davis.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jamie Davis, and I'm a professor of nutrition at the University of Texas at Austin. Nutrition is the study of food and how food impacts our body and overall health. I got interested in this work because I know that kids who eat a lot of fruits and vegetables grow up to be strong and healthy. Eating fruits and vegetables powers us up to do all of our favorite things, from playing with friends, to doing well in school, to excelling in sports. Kids who grow their own food will be more likely to eat it. Willingness to try vegetables and preference for vegetables is one thing linked to long-term intake of those vegetables.
And we also know that sugar-sweetened beverages like soda and sports drinks are the main contributor of added sugar in kids' diets. At Texas Sprouts, we teach kids how to make their own Agua Frescas, which is water infused with fruits, vegetables, and herbs.
From our garden that we just picked. You can eat it, you can smell it. Gabby and Luke, can you guys take the mint and take off the leaves and put that in the water? So the leaf itself, you can smell it. If you have it on your finger, it actually kind of gets a little sticky, and that's the oil coming out of the mint, and that's what gives it the flavor. And if we crush it, we call it mulling it, then it actually releases more of the mint flavor. I like a little lime in my drink. So Connor, can you cut that lime just like we taught you? Use your fingers. Okay, Luke, you want to squeeze that lime down in there? Okay, Emily, let's have you add the ice. All right, and the last thing to add is club soda. So club soda has 0 grams of sugar in it, but it's got that bubbly carbonated feel that we like sometimes from the soda. And the longer you let it sit, the more flavorful the water will be, so you can put it in your refrigerator at home. Gabby, you want to stir that for me? Just like that? Perfect. Okay, who wants to try it? And there's all sorts of different recipes that you can find. You can use all sorts of different herbs and fruit and vegetables from the garden. What do you guys think? Fizzy?
Good, yeah.
All right, okay, awesome.
It tastes pretty good.
Yeah, it tastes pretty. Is this something you guys would drink at home? Yeah, over a soda? Nice.
Does it have any sugar in it?
It has no sugar in it. It's all natural sugar. So there's natural sugar in the mint and the lime, but no calories or added sugar goes with it. So it's a very good alternative to having a soda.
If you're interested in learning more about Agua Frescas recipes, click the link in the video description below.
Welcome to the Magic City, also known as Birmingham, located in the heart of Alabama. We're coming to you from Jones Valley Teaching Farm. We're not just one farm, but 7 different farms. Each one is right next to a Birmingham City school. You might be wondering, what happens on these farms? Students come out to learn anything and everything about food, from growing it to cooking it.
Hi, I'm Destiny, and I'm a senior at Woodlawn High School.
and this is our teaching farm.
And hey, I'm Cedric. I'm a graduate of Woodlawn High School. I've been working with Jones Valley for 3 years, and we grow lots and lots of food. And we grow on 2 acres of land. That's equal to 2 football fields.
Last year, we grew 5,800 pounds of produce. That is like 4,218 basketballs.
And you're wondering what happened with all the produce that we grew. We donated it to students and gave it to communities for free.
Another thing that makes Woodlawn High School special is the fact that high school students, like me, can get a job and work as an apprentice. Being an apprentice means that I get to stay after school to work and learn, and I get paid to do it. This is our greenhouse. It is also a nursery where our plants are born and our baby plants are taken care of. The greenhouse is the start of a journey for most of our plants. To me, a seed means potential. Potential to grow into something new, the potential to make a difference. Did you know that one seed can grow into one plant that can produce hundreds, if not thousands, of seeds? This means that one seed can feed thousands of people. Let's look at their journey in the greenhouse.
First, we get our soil ready for the seeds. I see soil as a parent to the seed. It's nurturing and providing the seed with all the necessary nutrients and support it needs.
Then it's time to sow your seeds.
Okay, I'm ready to sow.
Not S-E-W, I mean S-O-W, which means to plant your seeds. First, poke your holes. Don't go too deep. Place one seed in each hole. We need to be gentle with each seed because we want them to be successful. And lastly, you water your soil. Water is essential for all life. Taking care of these plants reminds me that I need to take care of myself in order to take care of others.
Finally, we wait. It takes patience. It's very important to be patient in life and with a seed. Don't rush things. And then your seed finally germinates and you continue to give it all of the vital things that it needs to thrive.
When our baby plants or seedlings are big and strong enough to survive, we transplant them or put them in the ground. Being able to grow my own produce gives me the power and freedom to choose what I want to grow and how I want to grow without relying on others. The seedling is now ready for a new life, a new environment, and a new experience. Now the seedling is ready to produce for its community.
The more love and care you give it, the better it will grow. Growing my own food is powerful because I feel more connected to the things that I put in my body. And I appreciate the food so much more because of all of the hard work that it took for me to grow it and the love and care that I put into it. Working on the Woodlawn High School teaching farm has helped me feel more connected to the land. As a Black urban farmer, I feel empowered, and this is something that can never be taken away.
We hope the next time you see a seed, you think about the power it contains, the power to grow new life, and the power to feed communities.
And now we've showed you how and why we start seedlings here at Woodlawn High School. I think it's time we get back to work. Take what you've learned today and use that in your communities and at home so you can grow your own seedlings.
See if you can answer the question, what does a seed mean to me? Bye.
Goodbye.
Welcome to the Outdoor Learning Lab.
Welcome to Whittier Education Campus here in Washington, D.C. We are so excited to have you here. We have partnered with Outteach, who embodies our core values for our science, technology, engineering, and math curriculum here at the school.
Because of the outdoors, the students can not only learn science, but do science. They can test theories, they can collect data, they can solve problems, and they can work in projects every day.
We believe that STEM is important because it allows students to collaborate, inquire, and be innovative. So, take a look at this awesome lesson here in our wonderful outdoor classroom.
It's time to be an engineer. You could try this at home. So, first, we're going to start off with a sheet of paper. You could start off with like a rectangle almost, and I just cut it into 2 at the top. And then as you can see right here, I use tape to tape 2 seeds. So one seed is right here, and then the other seed is in the back. If you let this go from a high distance, you'll notice that the seed holds weight.
When we let them go, they're just flying down because there's a gravity who pulls them down.
I learned that different seeds have different abilities, like some can fly on their own and some can't fly on their own.
Are you ready to be a scientist?
There's a lot of different ways to collect wind data. Like if you don't have a wind sock right there, you could just take some plastic and wrap it around a stick like this, and then you hold it in the air to collect wind data to see where it's coming from.
For more information on how to do any of these activities, look at the link in the video description.
Goodbye. See you outside.
Wow, I am learning so much from all you amazing students and teachers. Thanks, y'all. I'm feeling inspired. I'm realizing that these are more than just gardens and farms. These are outdoor classrooms where learning comes to life. And I'm thinking about all these gardens, and I'm thinking about all the farms all across the country where all of our food grows. Did you know that there is somebody in our national government who oversees all of these farms? That person is called the Secretary of Agriculture. And he's gonna stop in today to say a few words. Our Secretary of Agriculture, y'all, Tom Vilsack.
As Secretary of Agriculture, I get to see and do a lot of interesting things. You wouldn't believe how many interesting people love to learn about growing food. That's why I'm so glad to join you today, to share how excited I am about all of you, the students across our country who grow, cook, and eat healthy foods in your own school gardens. As many of you know, the food we eat affects every part of our lives, and healthy foods like fresh fruits and vegetables support us in living up to our full potential. When we work together to grow food in your school gardens, you're developing healthy eating habits that you can hang on to for the rest of your life. Not only that, you're also growing food to share with your community so that everyone in every neighborhood can have better access to healthy foods and vegetables. Keep up the good work.
Wow, yo, that was an amazing journey. That was so cool. We got to go from the Big Island of Hawai'i all the way to the nation's capital. And we got to experience how fun and engaging learning can be when we try some of these activities in our gardens. If you want more activities, visit growing-school-gardens.org and click on the Educator Viewing Guide to find more extension activities for each of the schools we visited. If you're feeling inspired and you want to start a new school garden, visit the School Garden Support Organization Network at sgsonetwork.org. So there it is, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for tuning in. There is so much that we have to learn from being outside in our gardens. So this is just the beginning. Who knows what you might discover when you go out and try one of these activities in your garden. Maybe you'll even make up your own. Either way, have fun. I hope you have fun. I hope that your carrots crunch. I hope that your flowers bloom. And most of all, I hope that your seeds sprout. And we'll see you in the garden.